And finally, we reached the last story of the day. Coming from me, talking about the Pacers and the Bucks. Because Indiana don't give a buck right now. Stand up, Pacer fans. Indianapolis, Naptown, get wild. That's the best NBA series nobody is watching. The Pacers took a 2-1 lead in the series. Every game except the first one has been a nail biter, giving fans both teams something to cheer for. But is anybody really watching this one? The Pacers have the Bucks number this year, beating them in the regular season, beating them in the in-season tournament. They just match up well with the Bucks. I've said this before the season started, but last night was an instant classic. Chris Middleton, when I say last night, the last time they played was Friday night. Chris Middleton would not be denied. 16 of 29 for 42 points, 10 boards, and 5 assists. Dame Lillard was as Dame as you can get. 6 of 20, 28 points, 8 assists, and 1 board. Big bad Bobby Portis, which I feel he should be on the Olympic team over Bam Adebayo. However, that's me. 7 of 15 for 17 points, 18 boards. He broke a double-double. Then you have Brook Lopez, who's 7'1" and shoots threes. Yeah, I know. I hate to see it myself. 7 of 12 for 14 points, 4 boards, and 3 assists. How is Portis out-rebounding Lopez? How is Middleton out-rebounding Lopez? That part has to change. Pat Bev, or Patrick Beverly, as they call him in these streets. 3 of 5 for 11 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. That's all well and good, but Milwaukee isn't getting anything from the bench at all. 6 points in last night's game is atrocious. That game went into overtime, and all that was rendered was 6 points by the bench? Really? Really? It's game 2 all over again because the bench scored another 6 points. Malik Beasley, 4 points. Andre Jackson Jr., 2 points. And they got trounced, 125 to 108. Game 3 on Friday night, Andre had 2 points. AJ Green had 4 points. Again, they have to get more out of the bench if they are going to survive the Pacers. The Pacers average 123 points per game in the NBA. That's a league's best. Rounding out the top 5, Boston, 120. OKC, 120.1. The Bucks, 119 flat. And finally, Atlanta, 118.3. That's pretty impressive list to be in that kind of company. But it's not pretty good if you're facing someone else who's on this list that's higher ranked than you. On the flip side of things, the Pacers only had one guy not score in game 3, which was Jalen Smith, the former Maryland Terp, who was 0 of 1 and he played all of 3 minutes. Now, outside him, the bench put up 28 points in game 3. Obi Toppin led the way off the bench with 15 points. Ben Shepherd dropped 6 points in his 17 minutes of play, along with TJ Cromwell 7 points in his 18 minutes. Don't be mad if you know who any of these guys are. Outside of Obi Toppin, who played on a horrible Knicks team, these guys are role players. There's nothing wrong with that. But this is the very definition of team ball at its best. Are you watching? And I'll go ahead and explain to you why Indiana is one of the most dangerous teams in the playoff series. This is Big Fern at App Stupid. We're going to come back from a quick 20 from an unofficial sponsor of the show. Drop the spot. Yes, Roast the Host. Roast the Host is our first inaugural live show going down May the 10th. That's Mother's Day weekend. We'll be live. People will be calling in. It's a put down show. You can roast me. You can roast everybody on staff. You can roast just about anybody. You can go after each other in the comments. The funniest person to be voted on in the comments and also in the panel, they will receive a cash app from us so they can take the special lady of their life out for, I don't know, Mother's Day weekend. Or you can have a really good date night on us. Rules. There are rules. Rules. No shoes, no shirt, no surf. No. No, this is no racism. Okay, no racism. Keep it, clean it up, man. No racism. We're going to go ahead and police you with vulgarity because we will be across 3 platforms. You have to be a member of the show. Also, my family is off limits. Wife and kid and my dad, all off limits. My mom, free reign. Have at it. Me, free reign. Have at it. You got 2 minutes. You're on the clock. As soon as we validate you're a person and we see you in the room, then we put you up on screen and then you let it rip. You give it the best 2 minutes that all of your put down and insults can manage. Roast the host. So when we last left off, we talked about why Indiana was a very dangerous team. Now, per the NBA.com, the Pacers are top 6 in assists at 65.4, meaning they share the ball a lot and push the pace of the game. Also, effective field goal percentages, they are 57.8, only trailing the Celtics. In the pace department, Indiana is second only to the Wizards at 102.2. So they share the ball. They get up and down the court, and they don't take bad shots or waste shots. So that's very problematic for some teams that don't have the youth, that don't have the legs, and they keep coming. As soon as you score, Indiana's already out in transition, running the ball back down your throat, and they keep coming. Now, we go through these numbers to paint you a better picture that when you share the ball a lot and you push the pace combined with effective field goal scoring, these guys are hard to beat. Now, you insert Doc Rivers, who's playing right into Indiana's hands, engaging in up and down ball when he doesn't have the bodies or the bench to pull it off. That is a very astute observation, because when you look at someone like Doc Rivers, who has that basketball acumen, and I will never say that a guy can't coach, he's probably forgot more basketball than I know about. However, if I know my bench is just giving me 6 points per game, I cannot get into a foot race with these dudes because not only do they share the ball really well, they're going to tire my guys out. Dame Lillard is no spring chicken. Dame Lillard has been in the league the same amount of time as Anthony Davis and Michael Gilchrist. Chris Middleton is no spring chicken. He's been in the league a while. When you're making these guys run and keep running and they're down, arguably the best player in the NBA, hands down, is Giannis Antetokounmpo, because he is nothing shy of a man. This dude is a problem on all levels. So I'm not even going to pretend like that isn't a factor. But they don't have Giannis. And they have to play up tempo. And they have to kind of stay in this game because Indiana will not stop running. Indiana will play physical, they will run the floor, and they will keep playing, and they play role player basketball. And I like it because there's not one good guy you can team. If you say, okay, Tyrese Halliburton is the problem, they will go away from Tyrese Halliburton. Miles Tucker is the problem. They will go away from Miles Tucker. Pascal Siakam is a problem. They will go away from Pascal, and they will still have the same productivity. That's how crazy the Indiana problem is. If they just think about it like this, if they had the shooters from the perimeter that Gold State does, and they play that same up-tempo basketball, they would hands down be the number one team in the Eastern Conference. Back to it. Tyrese Halliburton is becoming a superstar right before your eyes, and he broke a triple-double Friday night. 8 of 22, 18 points, 10 boards, 16 assists. The former Iowa State Cyclones stand up. Also, okay, what I'm going to say will shock you, but the entire starting five was in double figures last night. Everybody from Pascal Siakam all the way down to Andrew Nembhard. I'm not saying this is over I'm not saying this is over, but I don't want it to end because you have two teams from a smaller market that are putting on the best series, the most compelling series in the NBA right now. And it's not being covered the way that the Lakers' demise is being covered. It's not being covered the way that the Heat have given up. I don't even think it's being covered for real with Cleveland and Orlando, a series nobody really cares about. And then the Knicks and the 76ers, that's another series nobody cares about. But what do I know? How do you feel about it? Is this one of the best series from a smaller market nobody's trying to watch and pay attention to? Because I can bet this, if Doc Rivers loses, then it won't be give Indiana their flowers. If Doc Rivers loses to the Pacers, it won't be about the Pacers really matched up well with them. We had their number. We had the bodies. They didn't. It will be, oh, Doc Rivers is the worst coach. Because in this current climate of sports journalism, it's not give someone credit for something. It's tear them down. Ad hominem attacks on their character and go after any little fame to kind of belittle this person to make them feel like that. So that's what they're doing. Again, I just want people to get their just dues. This is Big Vern at App Stupid. No, that's the end of the show, dude. That's the end of the show. Look, we'll see you all bright and early Tuesday. Getting it in as usual. Holla at your boy.